It's hard to believe that I've been doing these YouTube videos for over 2 years now. I believe it was 2 years last August that I did my first video, and I don't know the exact number. I'd have to go back and count how many videos I've done in these past 2 years, but I know when we started out, the video quality and everything about it, even my presentation, wasn't all that great. It's not that much better now, but I've gotten used to it, I think. And I enjoy the comments. I get a lot of comments from a lot of people. Some of you guys have been commenting and following me since I started. And it's always good to hear from some of you guys, because you know what all I've been through and what it's taken to get here. And then other times I get comments from people that obviously haven't watched very many videos, because the answer to their question may have been 5 videos ago or something like that. But that's okay. I've made an effort to respond to every comment that's ever been placed on my YouTube channel. So I try at least once a week to go through those comments. Sometimes it may be 2 weeks or more, but I do try to go through, and I do respond to every comment. And I try to answer questions, especially when people have good questions and are concerned about a certain issue or something. If I can help them out, I'll do all I can. So in a lot of my comments, I'll explain in detail how I handled a certain problem, or why one method works better than another method for me. I've put a lot of information into those comments, and at times I felt like if I had just put all of the information, the good information I put in comments, if I did a video and put all of that on there, it would probably answer a lot of questions and help a lot of people. So I may try to do that sometime. I don't know how I would ever do it unless I went back and started reviewing comments. And gosh, there's hundreds and hundreds of comments that I'd go through. So I don't know if I'll ever have the time to do that or not. But I do have the time to, and make the time to, do some of these videos to let you know what's going on, what I'm doing. I think in the last video I was showing you how I was trying to get this room operational. Well, I did get it operational, and I've got a short clip of where I was working on some of these parts and getting them ready for shipment. And I did ship out a large batch of them earlier this week. So they're on the way, and I've shipped another order to another customer last week. So we've been getting a lot of product out for our special customers, but we're also trying to work on the helping hand and the products that we're going to be selling online on the website, and that we are selling on the website now. Some of the items, like the table mount helping hand, we've been testing it, and on our base we found that the legs, if you get too much weight on an extended boom, it can break this part here. So we have done a redesign on that, and it depends a little bit too on how the parts were printed. The parts that we printed with this design, that we printed in PETG at high temperature, they are much stronger, and we haven't had this problem with them breaking. But the ones that we have printed with PLA and with a larger nozzle at high temperature, we have had some breaking. We've done a new design. I'm test printing those now over in the print room on the other side of this wall, and when we get through printing some of those, we're going to test them And we're going to see just how much pressure and weight we can put on these legs. And I think we're going to solve this problem. But we're checking now to see how many of these were actually shipped out. I believe most of the table mount helping hands that were shipped out had the PET-G and the stronger part here. But if some of these were shipped out, we're going to ship them a new part, and so they'll have it in case theirs ever breaks. Again, we put a lot of pressure on this thing to break it. Another thing are these pieces which attach to it. They also have a lot of stress on them. As you can see, this one broke. And what we've done there, this was a PLA part, and we had some that were printed in PET-G. The PET-G ones don't break. The PLA ones do. So we've done two things. We're scrapping all of our PLA parts like this. We've got quite a few of them. And fortunately, none of these have actually been shipped out. So everything that's been shipped so far on the table mounts has been the PET-G and the stronger one, and we haven't seen a problem with it. But just in case, we have redesigned this a little bit, made it a little bit wider, and made the walls thicker. And we're also printing it now, instead of with PET-G, we've gone back to PLA. But the PLA part, because of the way we're printing it and the way it's designed, we're expecting it to be stronger than the PET-G part with this design. So those are some of the things ongoing that we're doing when we find a problem. And the way we find it is by a lot of these things in here. We actually broke this in here when we had this Dremel tool, and it was putting quite a bit of pressure on this leg because we had it turned over to the side, and we were using a lot with this handheld thing and pulling on it and so forth, and it cracked that. And this was a PLA part. Those are some of the things that we run into, and using these products for our own purposes really does help, because that's been a lot of our R&D and quality control and everything. Find problems is by using them, and also getting feedback from other people. But it's good when we can find problems and fix them before we ever ship them out. Last thing we want to do is ship a problem to a customer. But if that does happen at any time, we'll be sure and replace any parts and make the product good. One of my goals was to have all of the new products, the foot switch, the hot air gun holder, the lap diner, the spool holder for the King Room printer, and some other items, to have all of these items on the website and have some marketing materials on there with them by the 1st of November, so that we could hopefully capture a little more business during the Christmas holidays. Hopefully finding someone out there that might have a need, or know someone that might have use for one of the versions of the helping hand, and maybe some combination of the accessories that we have available for it. But one problem that I have is that I'm not ready with all of these items. I'm in a mad rush now over the next 10 days to try to get these products to the marketing people and get pictures and get marketing information on the website and on Amazon, so that we can better describe what these tools do and help our sales during this holiday season. The reason I'm behind is because I've spent a lot of time over the past couple months printing, assembling, and shipping custom parts that we're printing for other companies. These products have brought in revenue, and that's one of the reasons we did it, was to have some additional revenue and cash flow. But I kind of question whether that was a wise idea, because in doing that, sure, we have more money coming in and we've really added to our sales, but the problem is now I'm not in the position I wanted to be in at this time to market some of the new products and get them on the website and everything. What I'm doing today is taking these parts that we 3D printed, and because we were using a textured spring steel bed and we were wanting to get a nice textured smooth finish on them like we have here, we were having to print at not only a little higher temperature but a small zero offset to give it this good adhesion and good texture, clean finish. However, there are also little tabs on here and a tongue and groove configuration that allows these parts to snap and interlock together. But when at the higher temperature and the lower zero offset, we get some flare here at the edge or at the surface, and we have to clean that off. And I found the easiest way to clean it off is with a little Dremel tool with a flex arm and a little bit on there that will grind this off quickly and cleanly and allow these parts to snap together properly without a lot of trouble. So that's what I'm doing today. I've got a helping hand here with the Dremel tool attachment hooked up, not using any of the clamps, but I am using the light here. I'm using a light here. I'm using this high intensity light on this helping hand so that I can really see well, because like I've said before, my eyesight isn't what it used to be. I'm also using one of the foot switches that we've made and that we'll be selling that goes with these Dremel tools and hot air guns and stuff. That allows us to just use our foot to turn it on and off. And the adjustment's right here, so I can adjust. So I can adjust this to the speed that I want really easy while having it held there. Works out real well because this is real easy and articulating the cutting and grinding around here. So I just put it in the light. And once I get that head, I can do all that, and I didn't even go to dental school. So that takes care of that. Now on the other end are the female connections. Clean those out a little bit. Then I go on to the next part and continue this process. And now we can check these and see if they will snap together and interlock. Top locked in, bottom locked in. However, this one still needs a little bit more. Okay. Okay, once they snap together, then it's pretty much holding in place. So we'll take that one apart. We'll do these tabs. Okay, we're gonna move this camera down here. I don't know if I'll put this on any of the videos or not, but I thought I'd go ahead and do a little video. We've got a lot of accumulated trash here. Boxes and boxes of filament, and that we have in these big bags and everything. We need to get rid of it. Plus we have some brush from a tree that we took down that was bothering us a little bit. So I'm going to bring the excavator up here and I'm going to pile all this brush on top of all of that cardboard and paper stuff, and then I'll set the camera up here so we'll be able to get a video of it, and we'll see what happens. Tomorrow we're going to burn it.
Hey boy,
So until the next time, happy printing from New Tech Inventors.